kadaw yan, walang maiwan na Camachiles sa teleradyo ng bagong kadaw yan. Walang maiiwan, walang maiiwan sa teleradyo ng bagong kadaw yan. Walang maiiwan na Camachiles, CNHS, 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 teleradyo sikat. Pag-aaral sa radyo at FB mararanasan, inyong mga guro kayo ay gagabayan. Halina't makinig sa teleradyo ng bayan upang mga paksa lalong maintindihan. Sa teleradyo ng bagong kadaw yan, walang maiiwan na Camachiles sa teleradyo ng bagong kadaw yan. Walang maiiwan, walang maiiwan sa teleradyo ng bagong kadaw yan. Walang maiiwan na Camachiles, CNHS, 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 teleradyo sikat.
Join Time Magazine's lead education reporter alongside global educators and advocates to explore the impacts of teaching forgiveness.
I teach forgiveness because it can have a positive impact in my students' families.
It helps my students thrive in the face of adversity.
Students who can forgive are happier.
Join us to hear from teachers and thought leaders on how and why to include forgiveness in your classroom.
Temperature rise will bring widespread devastation and unprecedented extreme weather.
New coronavirus cases emerge across the country.
Obesity rates have more than doubled in kids.
Cape Town is running out of water.
Welcome to the biggest school celebration of World Education Week, with the topic of improving students' numeracy skills through fan-based activities. I am Roweline B. Onagan, your host for this evening. To give us an overview and context setting of this program, let's all listen to our dearest school head, Dr. Arlene C. Vidal.
Malawas Grupo, welcome to Camachiles National High School, Philippines! With the pandemic is still present after one school year, it is but fitting to acknowledge the unselfish contribution of our education frontliners, our teachers. The high level of commitment among teachers serves as inspiration for the school administration. Support both from internal and external stakeholders increases the morale of our educators, making them worthy of respect and admiration. Sorting of self-learning modules, attending online classes, visiting students with academic problems. These were our routines as we transitioned from face-to-face learning to distance learning. Amidst the present health predicament, we managed to conquer the limitations and challenges of this new normal. It was not easy, and it will never be. But with the hands ready to help and hearts full of desire to serve, our learners will always benefit from this initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, our school having been chosen as one of the 100 schools in the 2021 World Education Week, school celebration takes pride and honor to share our history of triumph and perseverance that will inspire the academic community to create an inclusive learning environment in the field of mathematics. We are extremely excited to be part of this prestigious occasion with a caliber of international reputation. The immersive performance, which will be shown later, is a testimony of how Filipino teachers differ from the rest of the world. No amount of cash can bribe our commitment, passion, and love for service. Once again, I welcome you to Camachiles National High School, the school where every learner thrives. Mabuhay!
And that is our school head, Dr. Arlene C. Vidal. At this moment, let's all listen to Ma'am Mary Nice V. Agrano, Head Teacher 3 in Mathematics. Good evening, Ma'am Nice.
Good evening, Ma'am Rowelyn. Thank you very much. A blessed evening to everyone. Mabuhay! I am Mary Nice V. Agrano, Mathematics Department Head of Camachiles National High School, Philippines. In a world full of school children who hate mathematics as a subject, the CNHS math team continues to search for programs and projects that will contribute in the realization of inclusive, equitable, and quality math education for all. With passion and commitment to make learners love numbers, our school caters math enthusiasts from different walks of life. Recognizing students' individual differences, our math teachers, despite the pandemic, support the learning needs of the students in the midst of the challenging distance learning. We acknowledge that each class is a heterogeneous group. Students possess different learning needs. This includes learners who suffer specific learning difficulties with numbers, and those who have already advanced math skills. Even with the present health crisis, we look at making interactive learning happen, targeting differentiated approaches and techniques, enabling students to benefit from the math curriculum. Our goal is to offer a learning environment for students, a learning opportunity where one can reach his or her full potential. The COVID-19 pandemic perhaps reshaped our teaching styles, but it did not stop CNHS math team to deliver the quality education our students deserve. This time, more than any other season of continuous educational reforms, a more holistic, inclusive approach to education that covers students' learning, social and emotional needs is crucial and significant. Before, we make our school their homes. But this time, we make their homes their school. We delivered lessons to students with physical disabilities and academic struggles. We also adopted online and modular trainings for advanced math students. We also designed differentiated activities, worksheets, video lessons, modules, and online presentations fit to the learning styles and needs of our students. All of our hard work, sacrifices, and efforts have paid off. We have reduced the number of non-numerates in our target group and increased their math skills as well. Further, we have successfully saved those students who were on the verge of failing or dropping out of school by personally reaching out to them and making necessary arrangements to match their unique learning styles and needs. In addition, we claimed awards in various international math competitions. Kudos to our math wizards, their teacher coaches and parents, including the supportive administration and stakeholders. This school year, although very challenging because of the onslaught of the pandemic, put us at the helm of success and pride, giving due recognitions and achievement for the entire school community. And, by God's grace, the CNHS math team, under the vibrant leadership of our former and present school principal, Mr. Raquel M. Dalmando and Dr. Arlene C. Vidal, has accomplished what we planned and targeted, all this with flying colors. For the love of teaching and learning mathematics, para sa bata, para sa bayan, maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Nice, for introducing the math department's effort and success not only in Mabalacat City but also to the world. Before I introduce our first speaker, may I just remind our attendees, when you post your screenshot, may it be pictures or videos during and after this live event, please use our official hashtag, hashtag World Edu Week. I repeat, hashtag World Edu Week. Also, we would like to hear from you by posting your questions, comments, and insights by just clicking the question mark button at the upper right side of your screen. Then wait to be acknowledged. Without further ado, allow me to introduce our first speaker, who is a master teacher too in mathematics, the pride of Camachiles National High School, Sir Bernardino G. Gomez. A pleasant evening, sir.
Good evening, Ma'am Rowelyn, and thank you in your introduction. Hello, good evening to everyone. Magandang gabi po in our national language and mayap abengi po in our native language. Hope everybody is safe while watching this presentation. On behalf of the Mathematics Department of Camachiles National High School, Mabalacat City, Philippines, please join me as I share with you our journey on improving the mathematics numeracy skills through fun-based activities. To reach this goal, Projects were launched to increase the numerical capability of our students. With the initiative of our regional supervisor in math, Dr. Nestor P. Nuestra. Together with our division supervisor, Sir Angelito S. Cabrera. The project All Numerates was launched. The project has aimed to determine the level of the learners and use the result as a springboard to research to come up with different improved instruction and strategies. Under the leadership of our Principal 4, Dr. Arlene C. Vidal, together with our head teacher 3, Ma'am Mary Nice B. Agrano, and the math teachers, the school offers math education to almost 3,000 learners. Under the project the grade 7 learners were assessed. Since the school adopt both online and modular modalities, printed assessment and Google form type of assessment were given. During the distribution, we instructed the parents on how to answer each type of problems. We emphasized them the importance of assessment and the benefit it could bring to their children should they answer it on their own. We sent a communication to them through calls, texts, chats, and even home visitation. A total of 750 grade 7 students took the diagnostic test. The result revealed that among the 750 who took the assessment, 126 or 16.8% was classified as non-numerates. This is quite alarming because these learners may not cope with their lesson should they not receive any interventions. With this number of non-numerates, the school initiated the Project Basic for the best arithmetic strategies for improved computation. In this project, it aimed to help learners increase their numerical ability. It also aimed to design contextualized printed and digital numeracy activities. Each student was given a monitoring plan to determine their progress. At the end of each quarter, students were given an assessment to monitor their numeracy level. We also provided free tutorials to our students. Through calls, one-on-one basis, students were given the chance to talk to their teachers and ask for immediate feedback. This helped the students a lot. As a result, they were able to understand and answer the questions given to them. Concurrently, parents were asked to supervise and monitor their child's progress. Parents were happy seeing their children improve their numeracy skills. Another intervention that we made, we provided different activities like games, puzzles, trivia, and manipulatives. These were created by our own teachers and were awarded as one of the best instructional materials in our division. As observed, students participated actively in answering the given task within the week. Math videos were also created and posted on our Facebook math page for them to watch repeatedly. Remedial classes were given to those with poor performances in numeracy. Constant communication through all possible applications was also established to answer students' concerns to meet their needs. During interventions and remedial classes, some problems were encountered. Some students were not able to get the hard copies of their modules and interventions. Since most of their parents were working, we personally visited their homes to give their learning modules and intervention plan. Communicating with students who do not have mobile phones or share a mobile phone with their parents has also became a problem. With this, the school launched the radio-based instruction, or the RBI, where we provided free radios to those who do not have any cell phones on their family. Through the radios given to our students, they were able to listen to the teacher instruction through assigned frequency. Project Algebra, or the Advanced Lesson Guidance to exemplify students for better results and achievement, was also launched for exceptional students to advance their level in numeracy. This program was designed to expand students' knowledge in different branches of mathematics through advanced activities and performance tasks. This also served as a training ground to students who are qualified to compete locally and internationally. With these efforts and sacrifices, good results were attained. After the administration of post-tests, the number of non-numerates decreased from 126 to 18. This was 85.71 decrease on the number of previously identified non-numeric students. From fear of numbers to interest in solving, our students now enjoy computing and answering different activities. Though we were not able to hit the 0 non-numerates, we can still consider it as a big achievement on our part. As long as there are students who face difficulties in numeracy, we will continue our efforts to design a program to help the students hurdle these difficulties. We also give credit to our former principal, Mr. Raquel M. Belmando, who has been very instrumental to make this impressive achievement possible. To add, awards and recognitions were also given to our students from local and international competitions. 7 of our students were recognized by the Philippine International Mathematical Olympiad during the 2020 national level. Also, 4 of our students were awarded during 2020 International Kangaroo Mathematics Competition, or the IKMC. With these recognitions, we can proudly say that Camachiles National High School offers quality math education that is top above the rest. And that's it. Again, thank you, P4, for this opportunity. To God all the glory.
Thank you so much, Sir Gomez. Indeed, you are one of the pillars in making this event possible. There are really a lot of strategies to be adopted from the math department. Now, for our second speaker, let's all listen to the Education Program Supervisor in Mathematics of the school's Division Office of Mabalacat City, Mr. Angelito S. Cabrera. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Ma'am Rogalyn. Hello, everyone. An Indian writer and mental calculator named Sakuntala Devi once said, and I quote, "Without mathematics, there's nothing you can do. Everything around you is mathematics. Everything around you is numbers." Being an education program supervisor in charge of mathematics in the division of Mabalacat City, Pampanga, Philippines, I take initiatives and reforms to support all remedial intervention intended to help and improve numeracy performance of the non-numerates and nearly numerates. Numeracy is defined as the capacity to acquire, apply, interpret, and communicate mathematical knowledge and concepts in order to engage and handle the mathematical demand of diverse circumstances. Individual needs numeracy to acquire logical thinking and reasoning techniques in their daily interactions. We acknowledge that every student needs to be numerate in order to maximize his or her potential and contribute positively to society. For tasks such as cooking, reading receipts, reading direction, and even playing sports, we require numeracy to solve issues and make sense of numbers, time, patterns, and forms. Project On or Project On Numerates is undertaken every school year in all public schools in Region 3, Central Luzon, Philippines. Our division supported this project that aims to improve the numeracy skill of all learners across grade level. It also aims to improve learning outcomes in mathematics with the help of various intervention programs and best practices that highly promote sustainable quality instruction. This project likewise develops instructional strategies and intervention approaches to develop and improve students' level of numeracy. Camachiles National High School is one of the schools who led the administration of the pre-test and post-test for Project AN for all grade 7 learners of the school. Considering the challenges and limitation of the distance learning brought by the current COVID-19 pandemic, action plan was crafted to guide the teachers on the implementation of the project. The results were used as springboard for research and policy recommendation for the improvement of instruction and performance of grade 7 learners in mathematics. I hope we can always dream of elevating the numeracy level of our learners. Our division never stops of developing programs for the improvement of numeracy skills of our students and teaching techniques of our math teachers. Truth to be told, many learners do not like math because of its complexity. But if they are eager to learn how to answer math problems and they have the teacher who make math an interesting subject to love, the dislike to numbers will disappear. Teachers play a critical role in providing numeracy learning opportunities for their students. With regular exposures, learners can soon appreciate numbers, with the exemption of those with dyscalculia, of course, a unique learning problem in math. This subject can be learned with consistent practice. Because there is no such thing as a math gene. All Filipino learners are capable of learning mathematics with skilled teachers who motivate and excite learners to do the math. Last, the learning materials available in all platforms, including online, we can inspire them to love math. And once learners learn to love math, we can expect more math teachers, engineers, accountants, and mathematicians. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much for that insightful and well-elaborated presentation. Our pleasure to have you here, sir. Unfortunately, our third speaker died days before this event. Hence, let's all listen to the late Chief Education Supervisor of the school's Division Office of Mabalacat City, Dr. Roger L. Nuki.
Good day. I am Dr. Roger L. Nuki, the Chief Education Supervisor for the School's Governance Operations Division. One of my mandates is to lead and manage my team that will ensure that schools division have the resources, technical assistance, and are able to implement sustainable programs and projects to help the schools establish and manage conducive learning environment and ensure learner readiness to learn. Camachiles National High School made their mark in the international mathematics competition when they won in the international kangaroo math competition with Alison Sep de la Cruz as a bronze medalist. Another feat in the mathematics international contest is the Philippine International Mathematics Competition or Olympiad or FIMO by the name of Avril Zian Renolayan, a bronze medalist also, and Adatia Alison C. Yambao, another bronze medalist. And these programs and projects in the international mathematics competition will not materialize without the support and approval of my former schools division superintendent, Dr. Maria Irene Tamayo, Then the next superintendent that I did have, Engineer Edgar Collado Domingo, and now Dr. Erickson Sabakan. I am very thankful to them because of the opportunity of these particular children at the Division of Mabalacat City to participate in the different mathematics competition. And I will not forget my gratitude to the school principals of Division of Mabalacat City, particularly in this World Teachers Day celebration, the principal of Camachiles National High School, Dr. Arlene Vidal. And let me thank everyone now that Camachiles National High School is recognized in the World Teachers Day celebration internationally. Of course, my heartfelt thanks to the principal and even to our SDS for this opportunity. I would say, Happy Teachers Day, everyone, and God bless us all.
Dr. Roger L. Nuki, or Doc Rog, as others fondly call him, left the Department of Education with so much inspiration, practices, and behavior worthy of emulation. Doc Rog proved his brilliance as a world-class leader, researcher, innovator, and educator. May his soul rest in peace. At this point in time, let's all listen to the inspirational messages of key personnel of the Department of Education from the school's Division Office of Mabalacat City, headed by our Officer in Charge of Schools Division Superintendent Dr. Erickson Sabacan, to be followed by Dr. Leandro C. Canlas, Officer in Charge Assistant Schools Division Superintendent.
The COVID-19 pandemic has altered the educational scene in the Philippines and around the world. Prior to the pandemic, the Department of Education continued its mission of molding young minds into productive citizens who contribute to the nation's development. However, this unforeseen occurrence did not deter our department from continuing to meet the objectives. Many people doubted it would happen, but we outperformed our predictions. We were able to provide education to all learners, and when we say all, we mean all. We are committed to our guiding philosophy that no learner should be left behind, which is a representation of educational inclusion. Inclusivity is defined as ensuring that everybody has equitable access to opportunities and resources. The provision of education as mandated by the Philippine Constitution should be based on this premise. Indeed, all our students should receive a high-quality education regardless of race, color, background, societal level, or learning needs. We are in the era of diversity that no matter what and who the students are, we can liberate them from ignorance and help them meet their full potential. In inclusive education, no one who goes to school that is labeled as a street child laborer, indigent child, or child with disability. All of these aforementioned are so-called learners. We at DepEd Mabalacat City, Pampanga, Philippines would like to thank T4 World Education Week organizing team for the inclusion of Camachiles National High School as an exemplar of inclusive education. May the best practices of our humble school capture the true essence of pursuing quality education amidst the health crisis. Maraming salamat po. God bless us all.
Education must continue. It's our battle cry in this time of pandemic. COVID-19 prevented education from having face-to-face instruction, and it forces the use of different strategies and modalities, particularly in basic education. Teachers and school administrators, including leaders and managers of the basic education, were forced also to adjust and embrace the call of the new normal. Technology zoomed in the environment of the educational system, and it opened possibilities for the teaching learning process to continue. This actually brought excitement in the life of the Filipino learners since they belong to the 21st century generation. With their knowledge and skills in the use of computers, and other gadgets, learning was made easy both in the delivery of instruction and assessment. Students were found to be more ready than their teachers in terms of technology. The school's division office of Mabalacat City is committed to our mission, which is to provide inclusive, accessible, quality, and liberating education to all Mabalaqueños. Camachiles National High School is a living testimony to this commitment as it models innovativeness, creativity, and effectiveness in the delivery of quality, accessible, inclusive, and liberating education to their learners. No doubt that the best practices of this school will inspire other schools and learning centers around the world as they continue to passionately mold the minds, hearts, and hands of the present generation. Here in Mabalacat City, we are happy to serve with courtesy, act with integrity. Maraming salamat po. God bless us all.
Our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Erickson Sabacan and Dr. Leandro C. Canles. So at this juncture, you may now ask our speakers your questions by clicking the Q&A button at the upper right side of your screen. But before that, allow me to read some of our comments from our attendees. So we have here Ranaya, Mamdu, Sophie, Muhammad. He said that he is really something to be proud of. So this is really something to be proud of. And we also have the T4 organizers watching us today, Kristen, Daniel, and Omer. Good evening to. We also have viewers from Malaysia and of course, the very proud community of Camachiles National High School. Now let us have our speakers. Good evening, ma'am and sirs. How are you today?
Good evening, Ma'am Roland. We're good.
Thank you, ma'am. So for our first question, it is addressed to Dr. Arlene C. Vidal. And here is the question, ma'am. What made your school unique from the rest of the world? Again, ma'am, what made your school, our school, unique from the rest of the world?
Before I will answer your question, Ma'am Rowelyn, I just like to say good evening to everyone and thank you very much for watching our event. So again, about your question, Ma'am Rowelyn, for more than 25 years, Camachiles National High School has been consistently offering quality, accessible, inclusive, and liberating education for all the students, guided by its mantra of building life through education. Camachiles National High School has proven its academic and non-academic excellence both in local and international platforms. In Camachiles National High School, we ensure that every learner thrives.
Indeed, no one is left behind because in Camachiles National High School, it is the school where every learner thrives. Again, we also have another question. It is said that, hi, this question is for Ma'am Mary Nice Agrano. What are the challenges you've encountered in the implementation of math projects and programs during the COVID-19 pandemic? Again, Ma'am Nice, what are the challenges you've encountered in the implementation of math projects and programs during the COVID-19 pandemic?
Thank you, Ma'am Rowling, for that question. I believe this pandemic, the school year became one of the most challenging school year to date in the community, Camachiles National High School community. The new normal posed a whole new level of challenges in our targets and plans in the math department. COVID-19 pandemic limited our movement, our resources, and even our manpower. Other challenges include distance cheating, the issues on distance cheating, and the limitation on giving immediate feedback. Yes, we are actually limited, but our passion and commitments are unlimited. Our creativity and the resourcefulness of our math teachers made it possible to succeed. Thank you very much.
I agree that no one hinders a person who is committed and willing to take risk. Before I proceed with the third question, we have here Adatola Ibrahim joining from Nigeria. Good evening. So here is the third question. It is for Mr. Bernardino Gomez. Here is your question, sir. What is your advice to a young learner who hates math? Again, sir, what is your advice to a young learner who hates math?
Again, good evening, and thank you for that question. You know, as a classroom teacher for almost 20 years, I heard this question several times. There are different reasons why students hate or dislike math. But if you will analyze all the reasons, you will only come up with one possible reason, and that is they don't know the basics. This is what we are doing in our school. We instill to our students the basic concept of math. So gradually, they will learn the complicated one. So always learn the basic first before you can appreciate the complex. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So it will always be the basics that will help you solve your problem, and I agree with that. We also have a question to Mr. Cabrera. After these successful projects and programs, what's next in the development of math in Mabalacat City? Again, sir, after these successful projects and programs, what's next in the development of mathematics in Mabalacat City?
Thank you very much, Ma'am Roelyn, for that question. In Dapat Mabalacat City, we introduce long-term programs and projects. The ability to sustain those initiatives is a challenge. We continue to develop learning materials and standardized assessment tools that are used by learners in continuous implementation of distance learning here in the Philippines. So we apply different assessment tools such as the theta, as well as the summative assessment. Second, we also introduce to our learners different pedagogies, as well as the process on how they could at least adapt the teaching and learning process amid this pandemic. And the third one, we sustain all the best practices as well as the activities that are being applied, and we continue benchmarking different schools, our division, in order to adapt this learning ability of other learning that are said to be based on their performance. Thank you.
I believe the division will continue its support not only to its teachers, but also to its learners. I believe that. Thank you so much for giving and enlightening our guests with our projects implemented here in Camachiles National High School and also in Mabalacat City. For other schools to replicate this project, allow me to present the 5 key steps to replicate the school's best practices. Here are the 5 key steps to replicate the school's best practices. 1. Sharing the experiences and expertise of the teachers that are worth emulating in mathematics. Camachiles National High School provides opportunities for current and aspiring teachers to indulge themselves in the different pieces of training and seminars provided by the Department of Education. Second, developing learners holistically. Teachers are trained how to establish and implement a clear and defined mathematics strategy, and learners are given the freedom to learn in their own way and strengths. Third, strengthening the simple and basic to resolve the complexity of mathematics. In our school, we are helping the learners to practice themselves with the basics of mathematics, helping identify non-numerates by undergoing remedial activities. Fourth, engaging stakeholders in the numeracy development. The school believes that the stakeholders play a vital role in the welfare and success of the school by active participation of parents or guardians in the numeracy project. Lastly, collaboration with the Parent Teacher Association, local government unit, and non-government organizations for support on remediation and enhancement programs. Efficiency in different indicators of learning in math was strengthened with the support of different stakeholders. I believe adopting this strategy of Camachiles National High School will benefit everybody. We're overjoyed that you made it to our event. It was wonderful to see you, and we really appreciate you joining us virtually and choose to be here with us. Our big thanks to the T4 organizers for allowing us to join this prestigious event. Let us now witness the pledge of commitment by the Camachiles National High School community.
Strive for academic excellence.
Strengthen functional literacy and numeracy.
Reinforce learners' active involvement.
Respect students' diversity.
Foster a healthy learning environment. Exercise patience and tolerance.
Encourage parents' participation.
Assure stakeholders' promises.
Follow ethical principles.
Produce lifelong learners.
I rotate with.
Promote sustainability. And become stewards of God's creation.
Because we are
One love, one family, one CMHS.
The school where every learner thrives.
With this project, we will eradicate the fear of our students in terms of solving math problems and help them love the subject, where all students will be numerates and no more non-numerates. Let's continue supporting the different projects of the Department of Education and Camachiles National High School. Again, on behalf of Camachiles National High School, Schools Division of Mabalacat City, and Department of Education Region 3, thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts.
Join Time Magazine's lead education reporter alongside global educators and advocates to explore the impacts of teaching forgiveness.
I teach forgiveness because it can have a positive impact in my students' families.
It helps my students thrive in the face of adversity.
Students who can forgive are happier.
Join us to hear from teachers and thought leaders on how and why to include forgiveness in your classroom.
Temperature rise will bring widespread devastation and unprecedented extreme weather.
New coronavirus cases emerge across the country.
Obesity rates have more than doubled in kids.
Cape Town is running out of water.